Hey there everyone, this is Jeff, again with Starcat Products, here to bring you part 2 of Painkiller Hell and Damnation. Today we're going to be tackling on the Cathedral level. As mentioned before in prior videos, I'm going to be nerfing myself down using the tarot cards you're supposed to have at this part of the game. So it's giving you a look here. So one thing that I changed was that I put on the Fear card. This really helps when you don't have a lot of tarot cards you get at the beginning of the game. It makes the enemies have less health. So in this level, we're going to encounter a new weapon. It's a stake gun. And so there's two tarot cards on this stage that we got to get. They each involve getting gold. And the best weapon to use to try to farm gold in the level is the Painkiller. But there's two tarot cards. The first one being you got to find 500 regular gold in the level, which is this gold you find from the objects that explode. And the second tarot card is you got to get 300 gold from fallen enemies. And the best way to get gold from the fallen enemies is to use the Painkiller and air juggle them. Or you can explode them using the demon morph, or you can explode them using objects. So always try to pay attention when you're fighting on this stage. For the gold that's on the ground, there's a lot of explosive objects. You can help illuminate the objects by turning off your flashlight by hitting L. One thing to be careful in this part here is there's some guys that spawn behind you. They almost get me right there. Try to use the Painkiller on the monk guys. They're pretty easy. One thing to note is that they have two axes. They will throw one of the axes at you at a range, and then they'll come at you with the second one. So if you hear like a little swishing noise, they probably threw their axe at you and you need to move out of the way. Overall though, these guys are pretty easy. They're really easy to air juggle. You should be able to get the tarot cards no problem. So one thing to just note is that there's a lot of explosive objects on this stage, and try not to get too caught up air juggling to enemies, because sometimes you can get stuck and they can blow you up or get you stuck in the corner, because you'd only die in a couple hits. Get some air juggling there. This level again has really great music, just like the first stage. The first couple levels in Painkiller Hell and Damnation are almost identical copies as they are from Painkiller Black. So up ahead here we're going to encounter the shield enemies that I mentioned in the first video. There's two ways to really deal with them. You can hit them with the Painkiller, which basically makes them stagger or die in one hit. Or you can get out the soul catcher and actually cut at their toes, which we're going to see here in a moment. Let's try to watch. I don't know how I didn't get blown up there. Let's get the soul catcher out, and shoot him in the toe, and shoot him in the toe. There you go. The best way to fight those guys is try to attack them almost the exact same time they attack you. Just always try to make sure you move out of the way. Those fire arrows are a lot faster than they look. So we're just going to go through and we're going to destroy all these objects. I'm going to turn my light off to help see the gold on the ground and the other power-ups. Try to be careful. Some of the coffins are behind explosive barrels. You don't want to get yourself exploded. You'll die in one hit. So yeah, unfortunately most of this level is going to either involve me killing enemies or just running around trying to find the gold, because there's a lot of explosive items around here. I kind of want to show where they're all at. We are going to get all of the secrets, and they're going to be in the next room up here. So now we're going to get the stake gun. The stake gun's pretty cool. Its primary fire is to shoot out these large stakes. It has a really slow rate of fire, but it's pretty accurate. It is affected by gravity, however, so if you shoot at a distance, just take note that the stakes will fall down. And the secondary fire is to be able to fire grenades out. I believe in multiplayer there is a hotkey you get, where basically you can just hit the button and you'll just fire a grenade from the stake gun. This is really useful because I don't often find myself using the stake gun. It's really nerfed. It was really good in Painkiller Black, but it seems like, again, this soul catcher just really makes a lot of the early game weapons kind of crap. One thing to note when you're bunny hopping around, if you see gold on the ground or any other items, if you're hopping, you're going to jump over them. So try to make sure that you stop the hop a little bit right before you grab the item so you can stay on the ground. One new enemy we're going to encounter on here is the guys holding the axes with the red vapor coming off of them. When these enemies die, they actually will drop their weapon and have them fall at you. So you need to be really careful to not touch those weapons, so when you get touched by them, the vapor will do about 20 damage to you, and it will drain your armor. I actually discovered this completely on accident, but the painkiller does kill those guys like in one hit. I actually meant to pull out the stake gun at that part, but I had the painkiller out instead, so it's a pretty cool accident we found there, but it's really, really effective against them. You see? Boom, one hit, gone. Try to get good at air juggling the enemies, because it's like really key to getting the extra gold to come out of them. The best way to do it is to start looking down and kind of pick them up as you keep hitting them. So we're just going to get all the explosive objects here. And again, you can turn your light on and off to be able to see the power-ups glow. Make them easier to pick up for you. There's a whole lot of these urns all over the level. And try to make sure you break them so you can get the extra gold. You should very easily be able to get the 500 gold that you need for the tarot card. So now we're going to see the tarot cards for the first time. So what you do is you run up, you hit the E button, and it makes this big guy really easy. He would pretty much just walk at you almost the entire time. And if he starts an attack, you have plenty of time to react to it. You get tarot cards later on that give you a time bonus, or you let you use them multiple times. You only can use them once per stage. As you can see, he attacked me, but he's so slow, he wasn't even near hitting me. One thing to note in this area, there's these skeletons that come out. They come out of the coffins in the corners. Once they come out of those coffins, they actually drop gold out of the coffins, so you need to go to every corner and try to grab those pieces of gold that they drop. And what just happened there is those scythe enemies, they fire these golden orbs at you. You can't really see them, it's like they hit scan you, so like the shotgun does. But what it does, it makes sure you can't attack. So you gotta be careful, especially if some skeletons get on you, that those yellow guys don't just hit you with their attack where you can't attack anymore. You can see he attacked me, but he missed. And those stupid skeletons, man, they're just so cheap. They just come out of nowhere and just hit you. Look, I did it again. So yeah, those scythe enemies, they make really silly noises when they die. It's really funny when you have like the demon morph on or the tarot cards activated. As long as you keep moving, you shouldn't get hit by their attacks. There's a lot of health power-ups in this area as well, one in every corner. So what I did there is I used the soul catcher combo and I gained control of that skeleton. He's just gonna waste everything because he's cheap. Look at this guy, he's just destroying everything. Like he just destroyed that whole group. Yeah, he destroyed that group. There's one skeleton. It's insane. That's how ridiculous the skeletons are. So we're going to be using the painkiller a lot to get these guys to air juggle. And one thing that I found useful when using the painkiller is to put both of your fingers on your right mouse button. And make sure you can right click a lot quicker. You can see I'm just doing it really, really quick there. And it's really useful when you're surrounded because you can just spam it really, really fast. And we're going to be seeing it a lot in the next level. Try to be careful when fighting in these pillar areas because there's a lot of explosive barrels you can hit on accident. And again, in trauma mode, you can die in one hit. But yeah, the stake gun, it's really, really awesome in the older games. One thing that's cool about the stake gun also is like that enemy that was stuck to the wall. When enemies get stuck to the wall like that, you can get the painkiller out and keep repeatedly hitting them, and you can get them to spawn extra gold. So you can also get extra gold on this stage by turning into the demon and hitting the enemies before they hit the ground. As you can see, we're getting extra gold from these guys. Another way you can get extra gold is whenever an enemy would spawn and he falls, if you can kill him before he touches the ground, you'll get extra gold like that as well. He threw his axe and it didn't go anywhere, so he only has one now. Try to be careful here because there's a lot of skeletons that they can get behind you. The music's really great in this stage, I love it. One of my favorite songs in the game. So all the secrets are in this room. We're going to be spending a lot of time in this room. That skeleton, he just ran like right through my attack. It's ridiculous. Oh, kind of messed up that air juggle there. Oh, too late. So these guys, you can see, I think one of them might throw his weapon at me. Nope, not quite. There's one, see, they got me. It's ridiculous. Those guys die, they throw their weapons at you, so try to make sure you're moving. It's kind of hard to move when you're in a little thin hallway like this. This clearing's pretty easy to wipe out, especially if you just stand in one of these linear areas. The enemies will just walk at you one at a time pretty much. So what I like to do with the soul catcher is I like to shoot the enemies like at their feet, because you can tend to hit the guys behind them a lot easier. And we're gonna start moving up here soon. So again, there's a lot of skeletons that spawn in this area. They have coffins that they came out of, and from those coffins is going to be gold. I'm going to miss a lot of it, but we should get plenty by the end of the stage. You air juggle that guy, get a little bit extra gold there. One thing they haven't really shown with the Painkiller is the Painkiller combo, where you can hold down the primary fire where the razor blades spin, and then you can hit the secondary fire, basically fire out the razor blades. It does no damage. I mean, it's neat, and you can still do it from the original game. But again, like, the damage is so nerfed on certain weapons in the game that it's just completely unrewarding to try to do some of the combos. Here's some of the gold there that the skeletons might have spawned when they came out of their coffins. That one literally like just disappeared as I walked over it. Health power up, you needed some health there. I'm at 100, got the life stealer on. Try to blow up these barrels up ahead, because there's some knights that spawn, and you don't want to be standing in front of those when they shoot at you. The boss here, I didn't really zoom in on him for some reason, but the boss will show up and he will summon the knights from the coffins. The stake gun and the soul catcher are the best ones to use against these 4 knights. Get that gold being greedy there. So yeah, the best way to do it is just hide behind this column here. I shoot over his shoulder, but you can hide behind the column, they won't hit you. Try to attack at the same time they attack you. And that guy, where does Punk come from? Let's get him with Evil Dead style there. Here we go. So we hit him in the toes again. See how their shield doesn't really cover their entire body? So if you can get a soul catcher razor blade and shoot him in the toe, you actually can still kill him. It's really satisfying when you actually get one of those guys to stick to the wall like that. It's great. So yeah, there we go. We got that last guy there. So one thing to look for are these urns again. So the first secret we're going to find is actually around this corner here. Try not to blow up these coffins and stuff. Try to go up them first. So we're going to climb up them there. And we're going to get some soul catcher ammunition and the first holy relic. You need to get this barrel. And you need to push it down off the ledge here. Don't be scared of it. It's not going to blow up because it falls or anything. But we're going to need it to get the second secret. Just get it and push it over. Remember, I can't seem to push it straight half the time when I record. I don't know why. But so you just get it. Push it along. Again, it won't blow up or anything unless it's shot at. So move it over to this column. Try not to use the painkiller to blow up the barrel, because it tended to ricochet it at you. Then you have to go get another barrel. So you knock this column down. What it is, there's a really tricky jump you got to do to get that mega health and the holy relic. You try to jump 3 times on this, and then on the 3rd time you jump to the right. I made it look really easy, but it actually really is pain in the butt to get that jump. But with some practice you can get used to it. But basically you just try to jump 3 times on it. So start with a jump, then jump forward twice, and after that 3rd jump, jump to the right, and you have just enough momentum to land on that ledge. So there's the last night enemy. But the battle music kept playing there. Get some extra gold out of him. When it comes to the air juggling with the painkiller, you gotta try to hit them at least 4 times, I believe, to start getting them to drop the extra gold. It's really easy to do it when you get them stuck to the wall with the stake gun, because then you can just keep repeatedly hitting them over and over again. Scratching my nose probably right here. So now we're gonna get the last 2 secrets now. The next secret is actually inside of one of the windows. You gotta jump over near the end here. And that door to the right you just saw near the health was not open before. It actually opens up after you do the clearing. So you just jump through that window, you get a mega health. The last secret is in here. It opens up after you do the clearing, and there's just basically just extra gold in here. I got greedy and wanted these 2 pieces down there, and I forgot to get the rest of them. That's okay though, we got plenty of gold now to get both the tarot cards. One thing to note about the Mega Health is that if, especially in the earlier difficulties where the souls actually heal you, if you actually have more than 250 health, the Mega Health items will not heal you anymore. So they're really only that great in trauma mode when you actually need the health and you get hit for like 50 points at a time per hit. So what we're doing now, we're just going to clear through these areas that had the barrels that I warned you about. But one thing that I forgot to mention is that under these areas where the columns are at are actually super ammunition packs where you can get the freezer ammunition and more grenades for the stake gun. I really like the ambient noise it makes on this stage, how all the channing's going on. It's really great. So when shooting at barrels that are near one another, try to be careful to make sure all of them explode before proceeding, because sometimes there's a delay with the barrels and how they blow up. Almost missed that barrel there. Now imagine being in a firefight, fighting things, and jumping that corner and getting blown up by that barrel. That's why I really recommend you fight out in the open. That's why you can bunny hop dodge and everything when you're out in the open, so it's a lot easier regardless. There's these urns like in every corner just about, so just always make sure to check those. So yep, just getting all the power-ups here. Underneath the bridge there is just a health item and some grenades for the stake gun. I didn't really need them, so I didn't get them. In the original Painkiller Black, there was only 1 tarot card on this stage, and it's just to get the 500 gold one. It was ridiculously easy to get. So this is the first to last room here. It's a pretty typical clearing. And it was pretty typical shotgun firing for me, where I shoot right over their shoulders. It's on the best. In the regular Painkiller Black, those monk guys actually will stand there and throw both of their axes at you. And when they do that, they actually will die when they have no more weapons to hold. So you'll be in a fight, completing the clearing, and you'll see souls like in random corners, and you're like, I don't remember fighting anything over here. That's because the guy fell over dead because he had no weapons anymore. So yeah, we're just going to clear this out. We're going to show up the stake gun a little bit. Haven't really used it. See, that guy threw his axe at me. What a punk. And I somehow shot the barrel behind the guy instead of hitting him. I'm the best at aiming. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was an armor near the window there. So if you're low on armor, try to grab that real quick. These guys really aren't that hard to fight. Most of them are melee enemies, so you should be able to bunny hop your way to dodge them. There was one time I was playing this stage, and I swear I got a screenshot of it even, where I got one of these guys stuck to the roof with the stake gun. It was really funny. So the next part of the clearing here, there's enemies below us. There's a jump pad right there where you see where that soul is, where you can actually jump back up. If you get good with the stake gun, you can actually hit all these guys, but I don't really use the stake gun that often, so it does look like I'm missing a ton. It's a lot harder than it looks, because it's really, really delayed and to reload. So like, oh, I missed, I want to shoot again. Well, you gotta wait like a couple seconds first. Again, there's a lot of explosive barrels, so try not to get hit by any of them, but try to get the gold that they drop as well. Always make sure you bunny hop to keep your momentum up and to keep from getting hit by the axes that they throw. That was an excellent grenade launch I did there. I hit all 4 of those guys. So yep, we're just getting rid of this clearing here. This level really isn't that difficult. It is one of the funner stages in the game, so it's really fun to come back to this stage later on and just enjoy it, because the music's really great, the architecture's really great. So one thing to note is that guy was actually falling on the edge, so when I killed him I actually got some extra gold for that. So we're just going to clear out the rest of these barrels and stuff. There's a lot of objects. What's really crazy, like when you turn your light off, you actually can't see the objects anymore. So always try to make sure you pay attention for the outline of them. This level's really, really dark. It's not nearly as dark, I don't think, in regular Painkiller Black, but they made it a lot darker. Right, so we got plenty of gold. 738 regular, around 600 extra. So we definitely got both these tarot cards. So we're just gonna clear this last couple bits of objects we gotta clear out here. And we're gonna proceed to the last room. The last room can be a little bit tricky because when you first start declaring, there'll be some enemies that spawn in front of you and also behind you though. So what I like to do is I like to blow these barrels up, walk up the trigger declaring, and then turn around and immediately start fighting the guys behind me. I'm gonna show out the freezer ammunition. I just now got some. Watch how fast the freezer just destroys everything. It's really unfortunate the shotgun isn't as fantastic as it was in the original games, where you have to pretty much freeze everything. And look how much damage that vapor did. It's just ridiculous how much it hurts you. But we're done with this stage. So you get speed, which is one of the golden cards, and vitality. So we got all the secrets, and so look forward to part 3, and this was Jeff at Starcat Products. Thanks.